everyone and welcome back to more Going Local here with Inter Milan at the start of season 11, and well, as I've already said, we're still here. But it wasn't that straightforward though, because we did have an option to go, and it was a very good option indeed. We'll get on to the transfers, the start of the season in a minute. We've got to go to this first though. We had one job available, one really big job. We went for it, we had an interview, and we were offered the job. And after much thought, I decided to turn it down. And that job was Barcelona. Obviously, absolutely massive club. Ronald Koeman decided to retire, so they needed a new manager. And they wanted to hire us, and I said no. And will I regret this? Maybe I will. My reason for doing this was, well, two reasons. Number one, obviously we switched clubs, well, a couple of times recently. Obviously we left Lyon after one season. We've come to Inter Milan. It kind of feels, if we go again after one season, I would only really want to do that if I was walking into a team that were basically guaranteed to win the league. And at this point in the save, that is PSG, Juventus, which, we're staying in Italy trying to beat them. And that's pretty much it. Maybe Manchester City and Bayern Munich as well, but Germany seems to be a bit more fluid. Dortmund are doing well. And well, the last two seasons here in La Liga have been won by Real Madrid. Barcelona have finished in second place. They are very, very good, but I think their squad is it doesn't wow me in the way that some other teams do. They've got Kulusevski, he's 30, but still absolutely fantastic. But their second best player in terms of value is transfer listed, and he doesn't look that amazing either. So I'm just not. There was no one really sort of leaping off the page as being amazing. They have a weird assortment of English players. Marcus Rashford, Max Aarons is here, Tammy Abraham, although he looks like he's going to be leaving. It's quite an aging squad with no one really truly spectacular. I mean, this guy's good, but I just felt it wasn't really worth moving again, having to rebuild a squad again, potentially to just finish second to Real Madrid or even third behind Atletico as well. So yeah, I felt at this stage it was best to just stay at Inter Milan, having had a whole season for the players, have a summer to improve the squad, having had a whole season for them to sort of get used to the system as much as possible, and just sort of see how it goes. And then next year, maybe Juventus becomes available, maybe PSG becomes available, and that is the kind of job we definitely go to, whether we have completed this or not. But I won't have another go at it. Obviously, we have only got 10 seasons left. We're halfway through, and we are not even close to being halfway done. We better get a move on. I don't think it's going to be possible, but we'll give it a go. So, with all that said, what have we done to improve this Inter Milan team? Well, let's just go straight into it. And we have made some moves. And hopefully they will improve things no end. 3 signings, we'll come on to them. 1 real person, 2 regens. But let's get to the sales. First of all, a lot of players out on loan, mostly youngsters. The most notable departures, Fabian has gone to Villarreal for just over £1 million, mostly just to get his wages off the book. He didn't do all that much last season, so yeah, nice to get him off the old wage bill. And the 2 biggest departures are both regens. Aldo Corti, first of all. This was a little bit sort of not what I wanted to do. Academy graduate, our backup left back last season. He's gone to Manchester City. His performances last season were absolutely dreadful. Awful whenever he played. He's done well so far for City, but 19.25 million. I didn't want to sell him, but he wanted to go, and we needed the money to fund the incoming. So yeah, that's why he was sold. And the other sale, similar kind of thing, but Ibrahim Mendy has gone to Borussia Dortmund. I think we've done quite well on this one financially. £31 million. Again, he's had a good first game for them, but he was our 5th choice centre back last year. We've still got the aging Skriniar and Gabbia and Bastoni. So maybe this is very short sighted, but I felt his passing not great, his heading not great. Relatively good overall, either footed. This might be a mistake, but for the money, considering how much he was going to play, I think it was probably sensible. But what about the signings? Well, we've made 3 signings, and the first one is a new goalkeeper, Jari Moretti, regen from Sassuolo for £5 million. His star rating's not great. I think ignore that because he's either-footed. He is very, very well-rounded, considering how bad Bajic was at stretches of last season. And our backup goalkeeper, whose name I never remember, was not that good. Having someone who looks this well-rounded and consistent as a goalkeeper, for me, I think he's a really good idea. Played nearly every game for Sassuolo last season and well, he's been their first choice goalkeeper. Got a 6.94 for Sassuolo last season, 10 clean sheets. He's been their first choice goalkeeper for a long time. He's only 24 and now he's prepared to come and sit on the bench with us. I think as a backup, he's as good as they can get, really. And then the main issue last season really was in the forward areas, and we have hopefully addressed that with these 2 signings. The regen first, we've used one of our remaining wildcards of players from outside the 8 countries we're going to be managing in, which means we've got 1 left of them, 2 more former player wildcards as things stand. But Roman Dzuba has joined us. He is Russian. He is 21 years old, and I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him. We have managed to sign him from Zenit St. Petersburg for £35 million. Scored 5 goals last season, but the average rating was really good. I think he's got a lot of potential. 17 finishing, 17 composure, 17 dribbling, first touch of 18 as well. Off the ball's fantastic. The technique, the work rate, pace, agility. I like him a lot. And finally, the real player who we have signed, former Inter Milan player, academy graduate as well, which is going to be very helpful for Champions League squad registration. Eddie Salcedo has rejoined the club for a whopping £60 million from Everton. He's had a good couple of seasons, a good 4 seasons on Merseyside actually, 16 goals and 12 a year after that. Obviously he can play as a striker, but it's going to be a similar kind of thing for Moise Kean. For me, I'm going to mainly be playing him on the left-hand side. His crossing's not outstanding, but his dribbling's very, very good. Finishing composure, decent, and pace, agility, all those kind of things as well. I like him a lot. He might play up front, but I'm going to principally play him on the left-hand side. In fact, let's improve his crossing right now while we can. You can see he is injured. He got himself a double hernia right at the end of pre-season, so he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks and won't be able to feature today, but he will definitely be featuring throughout the rest of the season. So there we go, just a few other players to flag up. We haven't signed a new backup left back, but I'm going to use 2 youngsters from the academy to sort of compete for that role. First of all, Arnaud Traoré is pretty good. Dribbling's not great, but everything else is really quite nice, so he might be the option. The alternative is Antonio Nobili, who has got 5-star potential, and again, his crossing isn't very good, nor is his dribbling or marking, but otherwise very nice indeed. So those 2 will fight it out amongst each other to become the sort of backup to Ruggeri. The other player I want to highlight, who's probably not going to play too much of a role this season, but he's going to be a superstar of the save. Matteo Secondo came through in our youth intake last season and he looks nuts, quite frankly. 5-star potential, and he's already this good. 16 passing, 17 work rate, 17 teamwork, 16 technique, 16 first touch at the age of 16. It's a lot of 16s and it's very, very good. His mentals are fantastic already. Natural fitness of 9 is a concern, but otherwise he looks brilliant. So we may well give him his debut over the course of the season. We will see how things go. But what about this season? Well, we have already played our first Serie A game. I wanted to get out of the way just to make sure the transfer window was completed. And Frosinone are the opponents we had first of all, and it was a fantastic 4-0 win away from home. The key thing about that result you can see there is that Alessandro Bastoni scored a hat-trick. He missed a penalty as well, but he got a hat-trick from corners. After he got 5 goals last season, mixed success from corners, which has kind of been the story since we left Celtic, after just basically winning the SPL continuously through Christopher Julien's heading ability from corners. We've had mixed success. Sinesi at Feyenoord, not great. Leite at Porto did really well, and Brass as well, I think we brought him in. But then Lyon, no one spectacular. Last season, Bastoni got a few. He's not got many, but it seems in the off-season he's been working on it. We've been working on the corner routine, and yeah, he's already got 3 in one game. If that's a sign of things to come, I'm liking it very much. He got a lot in pre-season as well. So hopefully he can keep it up. And hopefully he can keep it up in the first game we're going to be playing of the season in an episode, the second game of the season against Atalanta, who held us to a very frustrating draw towards the end of last year. So I'm hopeful for a good win here. Very early days, of course. Juventus have already won a game. Roma have won 2 games. So have Lazio. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Milan lost their first game though, so that's always good. I should just say that the signings we've made have not affected the season preview at all. In fact, our odds are worse now, 17-2. We're well behind Juventus. Bastoni is now our solitary representative in the Media Dream 11. But you know what? We'll see what we can do. The board, they're happy with Champions League qualification again. Actually, there's one more thing. So many things before we get to the game. But the Champions League draw has already been made, and our group is actually really quite good. I think Hertha Berlin, PSV, and Shakhtar Donetsk. That's quite good. Although Hertha Berlin are like weirdly good. But yeah, not a bad draw. So yeah, I'm hopeful we can do well this year. Hopefully better than last year. Maybe mount a title challenge. You never know. I think we've got more goals in the team now. That's the most important thing. And hopefully that can be on display today. So Bajic is going to be in goal. He keeps his place. There's vague interest from a variety of teams. There were a bunch of bids from Barcelona, but he didn't want to join them. So I didn't actually accept them in the end. Specken is subject to a transfer bid from Borussia Dortmund from Arsenal after just one season because he's really good. It's out of our price range and it's out of what we could have got for Bajic. If we get a bid in for about 70 million for him, then I'll see if I can get Specken in, but I don't think that's going to happen. So he keeps his place for now. Ruggeri, Bastoni, Bakula and Hakimi is the defence who overall last season did well. Benassia anchors the midfield, of course, alongside Matthias now with a full season from him, and Pasquini ahead of him, whose star rating has luckily and deservedly improved. He's quite good. Moise Kean is on the left-hand side in the absence of Salcido. Chukwueze is on the right-hand side, and De Zuba starts up front. He didn't have a very good first game in the team. I'm hoping for better things today. I'd just like to have a good season, basically. I've made a sort of Wikipedia-style manager statistics thing, and basically at every club we've gone to, our win percentage has been getting worse and worse. So either we're just getting worse and worse, or just the competition is just so much fiercer at every country we've gone to. Right, first highlight, it's Atalanta knocking it around in front of their own goal, in front of the Inter Milan faithful. It's given away, the pressure telling early on. Hakimi finds Matthias on the turn, slips it down the line to Chukwueze. Can he find a good cross in? He can. Pasquini's there, and Pasquini scores a fantastic first time finish. 1-0. This is a great move. The turn from Matthias was a fantastic ball down the line. Chukwueze just does what he's meant to do, runs to the byline, puts the cross in, and the finish from Pasquini. How about that? What a beautiful goal. Free kick from Benassia, whipping it in, trying to find Chukwueze. It's bounced down, and Bastoni's effort just goes wide. We've got a corner though, which he's been so prolific from so far. Can we find him once again? Benassia whips it in. He's trying to find him. This time the defender gets ahead. Moise Kean has the loose ball though, still going. Matthias looking to recycle. De Zuba, bit of space for him. We want to see an improved performance from him today. I want to see him get a goal and open his account as soon as possible. Free kick just in front of the corner flag. Benassia plays it in. Bakula, his effort is just over. Now, I mean, this is a good start so far. Very good start so far. Of course, we did start last season very well, and then things went very wrong very quickly. But, I mean, that was without Europe as well. So now we've got the distraction of the Champions League. So quite how we did so badly last season, I don't really know. But hopefully this year, things will improve. We'll rotate a bit more. I mean, we rotated anyway out of necessity. Anyway, Moise Kean is in, and Moise Kean flashes an effort against the goalkeeper's gloves. Great power on that strike, but no goal. Well, I would like a second goal to sort of give us a bit more security in this one. We're working it from a throw-in. It's come to Pasquini again. The first one was blocked. The second one, well, we won't talk about it. Half-time. Good performance, though, so far. Dominant, yet not quite clinical enough. Chukwueze is already tired, as is Matthias, so some subs going to be needed early on in the second half. Well, it's the second half where nothing's happened until now. I've made the subs. The corner, though, is cleared away, and Hakimi has given up on it, and Bajic comes out. Is he going to do something stupid? Let's hope not. Ruggeri now running down the right-hand side rather than the left, which is a bit weird, but I mean, he's going with it. He's still going. Back to Hakimi to actually do the cross in. Pulls it back to Ranks off the bench to Benassia. There's the goal we needed. What a hit from Benassia. Fantastic strike. 2-0. That is much more like it. Good, patient play. We haven't had, as I say, not a single highlight all half, but that's certainly a highlight. What a strike from last year's player of the season. Benassia with another free kick, whipping it in, looking for Bastoni, and he doesn't find Bastoni. He finds Bakula instead. Mario Bakula with his first goal of the season. Both centre-backs in amongst the goals early on. It's 3-0, and it's been a very successful first couple of games. Nice to see behind goal angle. But yeah, Bastoni and Bakula, luckily they avoided some concussion there. That could have been nasty. But Bakula gets the head on. And, still no real effort we've seen from De Zuba so far, which is not great. But that was a very good performance. 3-0, good XG as well. 3 points. 3 points. Maximum points after 2 games. I like that very much. Well, there we go. Very, very, very early days. And obviously, as said, it started this well last season, but hopefully we can maintain it a little bit more and really challenge at the top of the league. But there we are then. That is going to be that for today. We will be back next time for, well, I'm thinking PSV and Lazio would make sense. 2 sort of good teams to test ourselves against maybe. If not, if I can go a bit further, Hertha Berlin and AC Milan. But probably these 2 is where we will go. But that is going to be that for today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe as well if you are excited to see, can we actually just do better again? We've had 2 years without a trophy. I'm not used to it. We've had success, nothing but success at our first 3 teams, and that's kind of given way a little bit. And time to get things back on track, or just hope that the PSG manager gets sacked and we'll just take his job instead. But yeah, there we go. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.